भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Please close that door. That will be very nice. We had left the last session at the intriguing doorstep of this topic. Why is it that the knowledge does not stick? And why is it that the impossible, which is the I and the not I, mix up? Why does it happen? The answer to that is to be understood as is twofold. The first problem, as we have already discussed, is our unfamiliarity with I, Atma, Self, Brahman. Awareness. I is awareness. I is consciousness. That is what it is. Many words can be used. In fact, none of them are enough, and none of them are quite cutting it, because that which is Brahman is not something that can be objectified, not something that can be named, and is myself alone. So therefore, we have to understand something very important. So the first problem is not knowing. I don't know myself, and even when I do know myself, the knowledge seems to be at best elusive. Therefore, the mix-up, the adhyasa between the aham and the idam. Everything in the world is called idam pratyaya gocharaha, an object of this cognition. This table, this mic, this chair, this hall, these bodies in the room, this body, this mind, object of this cognition. Whereas what am I? Am I also an object of this cognition? No. Why? Because when I say aham, there is no object that comes into the head. When I say pot, you have an object in your head, correct? Pot. In fact, we can exemplify that through another small meditation. No need to close the lights because we will take a short time. Close the eyes. Again, briefly center. As you settle down, I will keep naming the objects. You keep seeing the meaning. If you are eating, please stop eating for the next few minutes. Apple. See the meaning. Pot. Tree. Sun. Moon. Eclipse. Fire. Water. earth, consciousness, bag, shoes, hat, coat, umbrella, consciousness, rice, wheat, millet, rye, quinoa, consciousness, up, down, left, right, front, back, consciousness, chain, bangle, earring, nose ring, finger ring, armlet, bracelet, anklet, consciousness, chapati, rice, vegetable, dal, consciousness. Slowly open the eyes. What we learn from this exercise is that for every object that is named, there is a meaning. There is an immediate objectification that the mind goes through. I know the meaning of pot, I know the meaning of hat, I know the meaning of cat, I know the meaning of mat, and then suddenly consciousness. What is this consciousness? There is no image that forms in the mind. There cannot be. When you say Brahman, there is no image. There is no object. Why? Because that which we call Brahman is neither the subject nor the object, yet without whose presence we cannot have the subject or object independent of Brahman. Subject dependent on Brahman, object dependent on Brahman. Brahman independent of either subject or object, yet we can say it is both subject and object, and yet it transcends the notions of subject and object because it simply is. And it is I. So the word consciousness, the word Brahman, does not have an object because it is me and I am not an object. This is the first reason why there is a mix-up, because the I is not clearly understood because it's not an object. What is it? I, subject. And then the second reason the I is not understood is because, as we have already seen, we don't spend enough time becoming friends with, becoming familiar with, or as we say in Vedanta, abiding in the self that we love to know, that we love to be. What is it that we love to be? Everyone wants to be an appreciative, non-demanding, contented, non-complaining, compassionate person. non-judgmental person. Yet throughout the day, where do I find myself? Unappreciative, all complaining. And then what else? Unappreciative, all complaining, uncompassionate, unhelpful to myself and others. And this, an unaccommodative person, completely opposite. And what is the problem here? The problem here is with the not only being unfamiliar with the I, but then if I'm unfamiliar with the I, that itself cannot cause sorrow and pain. There has to be something else happening. Because you see the cat, you see the dog, does it know I am Brahman? Does it know? Aham Brahmasmi, is it meditating upon that? No. Yet it seems to be happier than all of us put together. It seems to be happier. The dog doesn't have a problem even though it has Atma Ajnanam. Think about it. Somebody said, no, Swaminiji, my dog is depressed. It's very sad. I have only one question to ask that person: how long has it been with you? That's all. That's the only thing to ask. Dog cannot be depressed. So that means what? The first ajnanam, not knowing the truth of who I am, is impossible for it to cause sorrow. Not knowing cannot cause sorrow. Somebody doesn't know there is such a thing called chocolate cake. They are not unhappy. Only the people who know there is chocolate cake are unhappy because why is it away from me? That is the next question. You see? Not knowing is not the cause of sorrow. In the human being alone, where there is total self-awareness, total freedom. I am aware of myself and I am aware of everything else becomes evident to me. Total self-awareness is both a blessing and a challenge. It's a blessing because I am able to what? Pursue this knowledge. Yes. It's a challenge because I have to deal with this mix-up. If I don't know who I am and I'm completely self-aware, I make the mistake of judging myself to be what I'm not. Anatma becomes Atma. Atma becomes Anatma. Both those adhyasas are talked about in the introduction to the Brahma Sutra, both the kinds of mistakes. I is mistaken for not I. The immortal, unchanging I is mistaken for Anatma, mortal and changing. That is the cause of sorrow, because nobody wants to die. What dies is only the body, the mind, the senses. They die. I don't die. This is not evident because I don't know who I am. Plus, I have this second part 2 of ignorance. Part B of this ignorance is taking myself to be what I am not. I am not mortal, but I say I am martya, mortal. I am not subject to sorrow, yet I say I am depressed. I am not subject to anxiety, yet I say I am afraid. This is what is called Atmani Anatma Adhyasa. The mistake of seeing the Anatma as myself. First mistake. Oh, there is more than one? You bet. Yeah. As though this was not depressing enough, part 2 of the mistake is not taking the Atma for what it is, mistaking the Atma to be Anatma. Atmani Anatma Adhyasa, Anatmani Atma Adhyasa. This is the twofold adhyasa. The I is immortal, yet what do I say? Mortal. I am free of fear and sorrow. I say, yes, I am afraid, yes, I am sad. And so, in the I that is free of mortality, there is a projection of mortality. And in the not I, which is mortal, I see it as immortal and try to run after the finite, trying to chase after it and make it infinite. Starting with the body, of course. I want to live forever and ever and ever. And here, my friends, we have something in common with the mosquito. That also wants to live forever and ever. That's why it bites when you're not looking. Yeah, because when you're looking, if it bites where it is evident, it knows. It will become chutney. It knows that. So it will always bite when you're not looking. And therefore, what do we say? We say that every being has this desire to live forever. And only the human being can understand that I am already forever. The living here is I am already living and I am already forever. I am just experiencing the finite through the lens of myself as infinite. This has to be underscored. This has to be known properly. This has to be properly assimilated. And these two kinds of adhyasas, these two mistakes take us for a terrible spin, life after life after life. Back to square one. One adhyasa removed, another one is there, sneaks up. Another one removed, the first one comes back again. And therefore, the knowledge does not stick. Therefore, the knowledge has to be revised, so to speak, in a very interesting way and in a very internal way, because this is how the knowledge does not remain at the surface level, but it has to be internalized. The internalization of this knowledge is called also abidance in the self. So the first level of understanding this myself is through repeated listening to the Shastra. This is exemplified in the story of Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi, two ancient sages who are credited with channeling the mantras in the Vedas. Yajnavalkya wants to take sannyasa. Not like Arjuna. Arjuna also wants to take sannyasa, but there is a very big difference between Arjuna's, Arjuna's desire to renounce and our Yajnavalkya, sage Yajnavalkya's desire to renounce. Arjuna wants to run away, Yajnavalkya wants to come back to himself. Completely opposite. One is called running away from a tough situation. When the going gets tough, what happens? Tough get going. This is Arjuna's sannyasa desire. But the jihasa, the desire to give up on part of Yajnavalkya, is coming from a slow ripening and maturing of this knowledge within himself and the consequent needlessness for reproducing life as before. Get up, read the newspaper, cook, clean, have coffee, go for a shower, do this, do that. He doesn't see the point of this. That was there, that was necessary at a certain time, and then this is not necessary anymore. And then yet, sannyasa is a very important and a crucial stage in life, and therefore it cannot be entered into lightly, and therefore you have to get the spouse's permission, the mother, if she is alive, the mother's permission, and any dependent children, their permission. Are they going to give the permission? No. Yeah. Because everybody wants to have the neighbor be a sannyasi or the neighbor's child be a sannyasi. Oh yes, 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 how wonderful, you are so blessed, your child is a sannyasi, I will come to see him or her, I will bring offerings, I will come and study. You don't ever want your own loved ones, your own spouse, your own child to become a sannyasi. In fact, sannyasa has got a bad name, alas, in the Hindu tradition. In fact, that's the only saving grace. That's the only saving grace, and I tell you, the best retirement plan during the time of a rocky economy. Really? Best retirement plan. How much are you going to invest? How much are you going to save? How much are you going to work? Work, and then save, and then this money is a very funny thing. Money needs to be protected from itself. It's called inflation. How long are you going to protect it? How long are you going to do this? Therefore, our sages had a wonderful idea of the ashrama dharma. What is the ashrama dharma? Grow into being a person who needs very little. Grow into that, grow out of the useless needs that don't have to do with the body, whatever it is, grow out of that. And then grow into a person who is happy with whatever there is. Yadrichha labha santushtaha. Be happy with whatever that is. And then what happens? Whatever you get, you get. Whatever you don't get is okay. Whatever you have, okay. Whatever you don't have, okay. You are a sannyasi. Whether you formally take the robes or not, you are an inner sannyasi with a disposition that is wearing an orange dress. The heart has to wear an orange dress. That is the most important aspect of sannyasa. So the kind of sannyasa that Yajnavalkya was about to take, oh, there are kinds of sannyasa? Yes. When will we know about that? You can ask during the questions. I don't want to get distracted. So the kind of sannyasa that Yajnavalkya was trying to take is called Vidvat sannyasa. The one who already knows, but one that wants to really abide in this knowledge and not keep opening the door to milkmaid and then coconut man and this man and gas man and all those things. Somebody who is selling, somebody who is the Amazon package, all these things didn't want to do. And so he tells his wife one morning over coffee, what does he say? Honey, I think I'm off. Yes, you have always been slightly off, this is clear. No, this time I am literally off. Ud aham yasyan. I'm thinking of pushing off from here. And then he immediately consoles her and says, you know, I have divided I'm a very rich man, and I have divided the property equally between you. And he had another wife. And there is speculation that he wanted to take sannyasa because he had two wives. Okay, that is Maitreyi and Katyayani. We don't know what happened to Katyayani. Perhaps they were not on the same wavelength. And when he announced to her, when he asked her, may I please go take sannyasa, she probably replied by saying, I never thought you would ask. Thank you. Please be on your way. Here is some packed lunch for you, please go. Maybe that's what she did. But Maitreyi and Yajnavalkya were really one Atma in two bodies. They were really together on a number of ways of looking at life. So therefore, the Upanishad focuses on their dialogue, and where Yagyavalkya, when he says, I think I'm going to go from here and just be with this. And don't worry, I'm a very rich man, Maitreyi, and then I have divided my property in half, and you will be very, very comfortably off. She has a very relevant question. She has two questions. First is, she doesn't say, how dare you go away? No. She says, okay, you're leaving me all this wealth and you're going in search of abidance in the Atma. With all this wealth that you're leaving me, am I going to get abidance in Atma? If he was a contemporary man, he would have said yes, yes, and gone away. But being an honest person, he says, no. Na vittena ashasti amritatvasya. There is no hope of gaining immortality through money. Money will make you comfortable. Money has value. It will make you comfortable. It will make you happy. Yatha upavatam jivitam syat tatha tava jivitam. Just like all people with resources live, you will also live. You will go by business class whenever you have to travel, and then business class in bullock cart, okay? Yeah. You will go by business class, you will have a comfortable existence, but money cannot give you moksha, money cannot also deny you moksha. Both have to be, money has nothing to do with moksha. Then she says, I am your ardhangini, your other half. I am your other half. Therefore, you have to share this knowledge with me. You cannot go without teaching me this knowledge. You can't. Why? Because I deserve half of everything that you have. You have already told this. And since this knowledge is of the whole, you can't have the whole. You cannot say, please take half the Brahman. So you have to give me what? The whole knowledge. And then begins the very beautiful teaching where he says, Atma va are shrotavyah mantavyah nitidhyasitavyah. So the first thing to do in order to understand this I, in order to extricate the I from the not I, is repeated and committed Shravanam. Listening to the knowledge from a qualified teacher who can expose it in a way that touches your heart. And the world does not lack Swamis, especially after the pandemic. They have started to come to your living room and your house through Zoom. So a lot of Zooming Swamis are there. And so please don't give the excuse, I can't go here, I can't go there, it's raining, there is traffic, it's too far. You don't need anything except a device that receives and transmits the internet. That's all you need. Shravanam, and then what should I do after Shravanam? Shravanam. What should I do after the second Shravanam? Shravanam. Shravanam, 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 Shravanam. Until the knowledge is until you are well versed with the knowledge. And in the ancient times, that's all was needed. Shravanam alone removes ignorance. Shravanam alone gives this knowledge that you are the whole. Listening to it from a teacher, because if you read the Upanishad, you come away with a headache. And if you still plan on reading the Upanishads, keep a glass of water with Tylenol next to you, then begin reading the Upanishads. Especially things like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is called Big Forest Upanishad. Yeah. Definitely, it is a recipe for headache if you go unaided and delving into the Upanishad. Not possible, not necessary. It has to be unfolded. It is a key that has to be operated for you until you get to the place where you become the operator of the key for somebody else. And so, Shravanam is the main way that the stalwart students of the Upanishads like Nachiketa and who else? Shvetaketu and Maitreyi, all these people gained this knowledge. But we live in complex times. Shravanam is not enough. Why is Shravanam not enough? Because because of our own adhikaritvam, or the lack thereof. Our own qualifications for this knowledge. What are the qualifications? Having a tranquil mind. First qualification itself we have failed. That is why we are doing this retreat. First qualification itself, how many marks did we get out of 100? 0. A very big fail. Tranquil mind, how do you spell that? What is that? And then there are other qualifications like this: Shama, Dama, Shama, tranquil mind, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, all these things. All these things must be there. A tranquil mind, the ability to have a say over your organs of actions. And then what else? Letting go. We don't know how to let go. If we don't let go, we don't grow. We don't know that either. Letting go. Uparati, titiksha, the ability to put up with difficulties for the sake of this teaching. Discomfort. It's okay. We can't have everything exactly the same way. Think of our ancestors, how far they had to travel in the days of non-Zoom to go to their teachers, to sit at the feet of the teachers. Think of Adi Shankara from Kerala, young boy, through the lion and tiger and hyena infested forests. He goes all the way to Madhya Pradesh. Oh, which flight did he take? Air India? Indigo? No. Foot. He went by foot. Think of all that. And because of their sacrifices, we are here. This is actually very, very beautiful, very, very amazing. And so therefore we have to see that a little discomfort while sitting in an air-conditioned room like we are right now is not a big deal. Is really not a big deal. Not at all. Too hot, too cold. If those thoughts are there, what should I do? Keep it to yourself. Yeah. This is called titiksha. Shraddha, reverence and a trust for the teaching, a trust that the knowledge will deliver, a trust that I will understand, a trust that I will become just like my teacher who has understood. I will also see the truth of this. Trust. Then finally, samadhanam, single-minded focus. You don't get distracted. Who came? Who went? How many cups of tea did that person have? Yeah, you don't get distracted. Single-minded focus. And then even in order to have all these qualifications, I have to know where is it that I am headed? Viveka. Choosing nitya over anitya. Choosing the temporary, letting the other way around. Choosing the permanent, letting the temporary go. And letting go of what needs to be let go of is called vairagya. Why? Because I am a mumukshu, jignasu. I am headed towards moksha. Even though I already have moksha, I have to understand it. So all these qualifications were there 100% in the ideal type students in the Upanishads. Shvetaketu needed only 9 classes and then he said thank you and left. Maitreyi even less, as we will see. So Shravanam was enough. Shravanam is still enough. It's the mukhya sadhana, the main means of gaining this knowledge. But then our minds are full of notions because we are not uttama adhikaris, the exalted adhikaris. We are not that bad either because we are coming and sitting here. So that means we are somewhere in the middle, madhyama adhikarinaha. And these Madhyama Adhikaris, what do they have? They have lot of questions, lot of notions, lot of doubts. Therefore we say, Atma va are. Therefore he said, Atma va are mantavyaha. Some enquiry is needed, and dropping of the notions which do not belong is needed. Dropping of the notions which do not belong is definitely needed. Because so many notions I have. I am both whole and I am both whole and broken. Somebody said this to me. I said, how can you be both at the same time? You have to pick one. And if you are broken, you couldn't talk. That's what I tried to tell this person. No, I'm whole and I'm broken because I experience both. And so these are all doubts, these are all notions, these are all anxieties, fears, so many things. So many lived daily experiences. The anatma gets projected onto the atma. This is called doubts, samshaya. Two kinds of samshayas are there. One is called, samshaya with regard to the prameya, that which is to be known. What is to be known? Brahman. I had already told you the answer in the last session. Okay, yeah. What is to be known? Brahman as myself is to be known. But then I get confused. How do you know there is Brahman? How do you know this? And what is this Brahman? Is it Ishvara? If Ishvara is a guy in the sky, then how can I be Ishvara? Ishvara is all omniscient. And who am I? Struggling to spell the word omniscient. So there is a big gap between myself and Ishvara. How can I be this? These are all meaning you are a candidate for Mananam. Mananam, that's why we have question answer session, asking questions and all that. And then, so Mananam does not give new knowledge. Mananam rids the knowledge that you have from error. Makes the knowledge error free. Makes the knowledge free of error. Then also people might be fine and go away assimilating this knowledge. But if the assimilation still does not happen, we have a psychological problem that is called viparita bhavana. What is viparita bhavana? Oppositional tendency to what I know. I know I am Brahman, but I am behaving like an idiot. Please help. Yeah. This is the problem. I know I am Brahman, still I get angry. I know I am Brahman, still I get sad. I know I am Brahman, still I get mad. I know I am Brahman, still I feel bad. What to do? This is when we have the last advice to Maitreyi given by Yajnavalkya, Atma va are shrotavyo mantavyo nididhyasitavyah. Tavya means you must. If the Mananam has resolved the doubts and I am still not abiding in the knowledge is error free, vagueness free, doubt free, but somehow there seems to be a distance between myself and Brahman. What to do? Do nididhyasanam. Again comes from the same root as meditation. Dhyai. Dhyai for dhyana, that's how it becomes dhyana. Dhyai. Dhyayati. It's the same as meditation. Not much difference. Only the object of meditation, there is a slight graduating from saguna, worshipping Ishvara mentally, to abiding in myself as free of attributes. Nirguna. Nirguna you cannot worship. How can you worship the formless? It doesn't have form. You can't say Om Formlessaya Namaha. Yeah. Formless. Namaha itself is a form. This Namaste is a form. We are not shy of forms. In fact, from the form we jump onto, we graduate into formless. So for that, to internalize the understanding of myself as Satchidanandam Brahma, as Brahman, all the other preoccupations have to drop. Various preoccupations will be there, all kinds of preoccupations, they have to drop. How to drop them? Let us see with another meditation. Maybe the lights can be dimmed again, because we'll be here for a little bit of a time. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. In the 5th and 6th chapters of the Gita, detailed advice is given about how to make inner space for meditation, contemplation. Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam, head, neck and back are in a single straight line. Dharayan Achalam Sthiraha, is this posture is held without a break. Eyes softly closed, eyeballs are not restless behind the closed lids. They are as though focused towards the tip of the nose. Prana Panau Samau Kritva. Next thing is to stabilize the breathing. During the course of the day, our breathing is choppy, disjointed, shallow. Now I take the time to elongate the breath. It is free to inhale, it is free to exhale. I enjoy long, deep, conscious, deliberate breaths. Again, if thoughts come, go back to watching the breathing repeatedly. Then there is a peculiar advice which says, Sparshan Bahyan Bahihi Kritva. Lord Krishna says, please keep the external world external. If the external world is already external, how can I keep it external? But the problem is, the external world is not external. I visualize a range of mountains. In relation to these mountains, I am a non-judgmental, appreciative, accommodative, non-complaining person. See that. I don't want the mountains to be taller or shorter. I'm happy with the way they are. Next, I visualize a river. Again, with reference to the river, it is easy to see in myself an objective, appreciative, non-judgmental, accommodative, happy person. I do not have an agenda for the river either. I'm able to accept this is how mountains are. This is how river is. Next, I visualize my mother. Immediately you see that there is a big difference between the mountain and the mother. Mountain outside of me, mother outside, yes, inside also, internalized. This is what Lord Krishna says, to keep the external world external. How do we do this? I visualize the mother and acknowledge this is how she was, this is how she is in my perception. The words in my perception are very, very important. I could be wrong, I need not be wrong. This is how mother is, this is how mother was. Retaining the love for the mother, the caring for the mother, I take the time to grant her the freedom to be however she was, however she is in my perception. I can say in as many words. Be whoever you were. Be whoever you are. The The mother is external, all right, but internalized in the form of unmet expectations, omissions, commissions, hurts, fears. This is what she should have done. This is what she should not have done. These thoughts are the internal mother. When I am able to grant the mother the freedom to be whoever she was, whoever she is, I am externalizing the thoughts while retaining the love and the care for the mother. I am externalizing the anxiety while retaining the love and the caring for the mother. The extent to which I can do this is the extent to which I can be free of those expectations. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha. Father. Again, different from the river. This is how he was, this is how he is in my perception. I take the time to grant the Father the freedom to be whoever he was, whoever he is. And see that the thoughts that he should have been different, he should have done some things, he should not have done some things, are just thoughts. For now, I can suspend that worry and concern while retaining the love and the care for the Father. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om. Take the time to do this exercise for someone in the life right now. Visualize the person, grant them the freedom to be whoever they are, however they are. And the extent to which you can do this is the extent to which you can be free of unmet expectations. Then I visualize this body. Is it external to me? Is it internal to me? Because I can observe it, I have to say it is anatma. I observe the body softly, and let the feelings remain outside. The feelings I have about this body. I should have been taller, it should have been shorter, it is never the right weight, it is never the right color. All this I drop, externalize the body. Externalize the prana. I cognitively step aside and watch this breathing body as though it is sitting in front of a full-length mirror. The one who is looking at the mirror is a Sakshi, observer. And I, as the Sakshi, I see that the body is going up and down. The chest expands, stomach expands, full of breath, and then all the breath goes away in the form of the exhale. Keep watching that. Then suddenly I realize I do not need prana to breathe. This prana is my prana, but I am life without boundaries. Intelligence without borders. Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om Namaha, Om, Om, Om. What about the mind? Is it also external? I watch the mind. Thoughts come, thoughts go. I am still. Still I am. I still am. What about my thoughts? What about my feelings? Thoughts come, thoughts go. Feelings come, feelings also go. I am the Sakshi, endowed with this body, this mind, senses, emotions, feelings. Notice the tranquility and the calmness within. Now the mind is prepared for japa. If you already have a mantra, you can practice it silently. Otherwise, you can just use Om Namah Shivaya. Om, sound of Bhagavan, blessing. Namaha, salutations unto Shiva, the most auspicious Atman. Begin the chant softly in the mind. When the mind goes away from the japa, I gently bring it back to the mantra. Stop the chant. Observe the space, vast, full, free, comfortable. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. When you are ready, you can turn on the lights, open the eyes. To clean the body, we have various kinds of soaps. Shaucham. To clean the mind, we have various kinds of mantra soap. Mantra is the soap that cleans the antahkarana. That is how the mind gets focused. Oh, but to focus I can use any sound. Why not use a meaningless sound? Any sound I can use to focus. Why do I have to have your mantra? This is a valid question. Because the mantra is a prayer. We have three kinds of prayers. Physicalized, ritualized prayer, which is what? Puja, yajna, all these things. Then we have verbal prayer, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, bhajans, kirtans, verbal prayer called kayikam karma, vachikam karma. Then we also have a mental prayer, a quiet prayer which nobody knows even that I am praying. This can be done even in the office. 1 minute meditation you can do in the office. Nobody will even know, but the results are there. Now, kayikam karma, the karma which is physicalized, gives a lot of punya. Adrishta, very little drishta phala. Drishta phala means every action has two kinds of results, drishta and adrishta, immediate result, and then the punya that is kept in abeyance to fructify at a later date. You organize a homa, a yajna, and then you will see why Vedanta is so much easier. Yeah, all you need are some chairs to organize Vedanta talk. Organize a homa, and the immediate result is what? Don't say tranquil mind, etc. Exhaustion to the bone. Talk to me after a month. Okay? I'm taking myself off all volunteer lists. This is the feeling. This is the immediate feeling. Drishta phalam, 0. Adrishta, lot, because you have, hewn the wood and drawn the water and done all kinds of circus, shenanigans to do this. Then verbal karma, vachikam karma is like 50-50. That's why after attending a bhajan session, you feel happy. Little bit happiness is there, little bit punya is also there. Manasam karma, very little adrishta, mostly drishta. Visible results are many. I wish I could show you a mirror so you can see yourselves right now. The visible results, humongous. The invisible results fructifying punya, little bit. So then I should be doing yajna homa. Yes, if you want punya, do yajna homa, go for it. But if you want moksha, what will you do? You will do meditation. Manasam karma you will do because you are interested in what? The immediate. Right here, right now, I want to be calm. I don't want to be calm in an afterlife. Who cares? There is no afterlife cam to see whether I am calm or not. I have to be calm now. When do you want to be calm? Now. When do you want to be tranquil? Now. When do you want to stop an argument that has gone out of hand? Right now I need the skills. Not tomorrow, not day after, not in some kind of a distant afterlife. So therefore, for every mumukshu jignasu, without meditation, this knowledge will not prepare the mind for the knowledge. This knowledge will not sit because the mind is not prepared. Mind is not prepared. Why is the mind not prepared? The mind is not prepared, just like supposing if nobody had prepared the room, if these people had not come, you all had not come yesterday and prepared this room, today when we walked inside, what would be there? Nothing. No chairs, no tables, no stage, no mic. And let's say somebody had a party before here and then they had a puja or a party and they just did not even pick up after themselves. What is there is a lot of clutter. Is there place to sit? Not even standing room is there. Everybody who comes for the Vedanta retreat has to retreat. That's why it's called retreat. Everybody has to go back. Why? Because the room is not prepared. The room is not prepared for the Vedanta retreat, for you to sit, for me to sit. Similarly, the inner room has to have some room for Vedanta to come and sit. Very simple it is. The inner room is a trash can, sorry, but it is true. It is filled with the thicket of raga and dvesha, strong prejudices and preferences. It is a forest of uncontrolled desires. It's a forest fire rather, Davagni, forest fire of uncontrolled desires that are threatening to spread from mountain to mountain and consume everything in its wake. And how can the mind host Brahman? Oh, but you already said I am Brahman. Yes, you are Brahman. To discover that, to discover the Ishvara sitting there, you have to have some space. Some light should be there. The light of the Shastra should light up Ishvara, but the light of the Shastra has come and gone, but the Ishvara inside has not been lit up. Why? Because for want of the clearing. So the clearing is the first step to meditation, contemplation. No contemplation without clearing, no meditation without clearing. So in this little demo, what did we do? Clearing. But why we have to do clearing? Because otherwise there are all these notions sitting in the head. Oh, this is sounding very daunting. So I have to go notion after notion after notion after notion. How many notions? I don't even know. There is a ocean of notions that I have to let go of, and these oceans of notions are always in the head. And then I have to go one notion after the other. I will see you in my next life. Sorry, yeah, this is a good idea, but I can't do it all right now. That is why we go to the source of all notions. What is the source of all notions? Mother, father, really. Those were our foundations. Those were our building blocks. That is where we learnt how to sit, how to stand, how to run, how to walk, how to think. We picked up survival skills in the form of things which are useful, and we also picked up along with that their fears, their anxieties, certain legacies, their anger, their fears, their anxieties, their sorrow, which we need not reproduce. This is not the legacy we need to carry. And so therefore, We go to the source of all notions, the primary caregivers, and that is where we learn to drop the anxiety. Anxiety with regard to the mother, anxiety with regard to the father. It could be just innocent anxiety. Oh, they are aging, I wonder how they are doing. It could be like that. Or it could be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They are coming to visit. What will I do? I moved far away from them. I have undergone many changes. I've had many epiphanies, and I don't think I can reproduce their life anymore. But here they are. Neither they will be pleased upon seeing me, nor will I be able to hold my center. These are the fears. So therefore, it has nothing to do. Therefore, first thing I have to understand is that the parents are also people. They're just another two people in the universe, two more people in the universe, that's all they are. They cannot prevent me from knowing myself. In fact, we have to thank them because they have aided me in knowing myself. They have aided me unintentionally or intentionally. They have helped me. They have pushed me to know myself, which is a very good thing. Either out of despair or because of understanding, they have pushed me to know myself. I have to be thankful. But then the outer mother and father are just two people in the world with their own qualities, with their talents, with their good, wonderful presences, and their challenges. They too are fallible, they too are human beings. They also are subject to anger, they are also subject to sorrow. And unfortunately, being fallible, they would have made you the target of their anger once in a while. They may have apologized afterwards, but still that scar is there. What is the name of the scar? Samskara. Some scar or the other is there. This samskara of the fear of authority figures is there deeply in every heart. Fear of authority figures, or one-upmanship with authority figures, or dissing authority figures, distrust of authority figures. This is all from the parents. We see this. And so the first order of business to enjoy a contemplative mind is to offload the internal parents, not the external one. They are already outside. I don't have to do anything to them except say namaste. That's all I have to do. That's why, as we said, if you observe the meditation closely, we said retaining the love, retaining the care, retaining the good feelings, the good vibes, retaining that, I let go of the feeling that they should be different. I give them the freedom to be whoever they are, and in so doing, I let go. The extent to which I am able to give them the freedom, to that extent I am able to let go of the feeling they should be different, they should have been different. This is what they should have done, this is what they did not do, and they should not have done. And what they should have done, they did not do. What they should not have done, they have done. This is my emotional baggage. This is the baggage I carry everywhere. I carry it into the school in the form of hopelessness. I can never do this. I can't succeed. I don't know how to do this. I carry it to college, more of the same. I carry it into all the relationships. This can't succeed, this can't work, this person is an idiot, that person is a problem. All this judgment, everything has come because I judge myself. And then this judgment is interrogated by offloading the deep, secret longings with regard to the parents, which are unfulfillable. Unfulfilled, yes, unfulfillable also. At age 2, my mother gave the balloon to the older brother, not to me. Now what? Now I am a balloon collector. Yeah. How many balloons you have? I have so many balloons, all kinds of balloons from all over the world. Are you happy? No, I want that balloon. Which balloon? The one that was given to this idiot, the older brother. I deserved the balloon. It was my turn. I had to have the balloon. How dare she, or mother, or he, father, give it to that person? You see that it is a frozen need. It's not about the balloon. The balloon is just nimitta. The balloon is an excuse. What is it then? It is some kind of a lack. It's a lack which has caught on to the word balloon. It's not about the balloon. It's about the lack. Here I felt put aside, and the elder sibling was honored, was loved more than me. A thought that one can never shake off. Forget at 2 years old, even at 92, the same feeling. The elder brother has already passed away. Only I am alive. But then I'm thinking, parents have also gone. And then what am I thinking? In the deathbed, I am thinking, they always loved you more. What a waste of a life, what a waste of a thought. Instead, we can be in contemplation. So therefore, the way to keep this aside is to consciously do it, of course. And we do the same thing for good measure, for the body, the mind, the prana, the senses. We can externalize all of them. Externalizing all of them is not enough. After externalizing all of them, what do? Because it's not easy to externalize all of them. I have to bring in the mantra soap to cleanse the mind so that even though they are there, they don't cause problems. I can think of the father, I can think of the mother without thinking of balloon. You see, this is where we need to get. This is where I need to get. I can think of them with an objectivity that I can command, and so therefore the mantra is a prayer. The mantra becomes an altar of surrender to all those unrequited feelings over which I have no power. I put it in front of the Bhagavan and say the prayer repeatedly to cleanse the mind of those very stubborn feelings which just do not go away. Suppose somebody says, I had a perfect childhood, 10 upon 10, 100 upon 100. My parents were the best, east or west. I have no childhood issues. If somebody says that is their childhood issue. What is that? Denial. You have to see that. No, but you just said mental focus. Yes, mantra is used for mental focus, I said. Why not use a meaningless sound? Why should I use a meaningless sound, first of all? Pujya Swamiji used to tell a nice joke. This man went to one particular type of meditation called TM. It was very in the 70s and 80s. TM meditation. They just gave the Mula mantra. Mula mantra is supposed to be chanted with the whole mantra. Examples of Mula mantra: Aim, Hreem, Shreem, Lam, Gam, Dum. These are Mula mantras. They must never be chanted by themselves. They should be chanted Om, Aim, Hreem, Shreem, Dum, Durga, Yai, Namaha. This is a fantastic mantra. We can take that. So, it has a certain resonance. So the mantra is vibrational in nature. It has a certain resonance, and when you hear the word Aim, even in a whisper, even silently, it stands for knowledge. Hreem stands for letting go and clearing of all kinds of rubbish that is there in the form of thoughts. Hreem is connected with Parvati. Aim is connected with Goddess Saraswati. Shreem is connected with Sri Lakshmi. Dum is connected with Durga. Durga means she who is difficult to reach for the people who are not in dharma, adharmic people. And so this TM, what they used to do, they may still be doing it, is just give the Mula Mantra. Go chant this, because most of the people were Westerners. They had a point. They said if we start teaching them Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, they'll have a hard time chanting this. So in that time we can teach 100 people. Go, just keep saying the dum 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 gum. Gum is again the mantra for Ganesha. Lam, gum, Ganesha mantras. So just say lam gum, lam gum, lam gum. And so now we come back to our story. There was this couple. The man was very interested in all these esoteric spiritual things. The woman not so much. She was a practical lady. And then the man went to TM, got himself a mantra, and was locking himself in the room all the time, saying gum, lam, gum, gum, whatever he was saying. The wife comes in and says, it's time for dinner. Gum, 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 lam, dum, dum, he's going. And then she knocks on the door. She is fed up with him. Finally, he opens the door. She says, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What's that? To have a calm mind. You haven't changed. Your mind is not at all calm. I'm still a beginner. I'm working on it. So where did you get this? Or what is this meditation? You repeat a mantra. What's a mantra? It's a meaningless sound. He just said what he knew. It's a meaningless sound because Aim, Shreem had no meaning for him. It's a meaningless sound. How do you get this mantra? You have to go pay $200 and then you are given this mantra. She says, you paid $200 for a meaningless sound when I have been asking for a new refrigerator. I'm leaving you right now. She packs her bags, storms out of the house, closes the door with a bang. And all the time he is in meditation. And he opens one eye and says, by God, this mantra works. She's gone. Very powerful mantra. So, the mantra cannot be a meaningless sound. In fact, you can say anything you want, and achieve focus. But then it will only be a technique. It will not be paving the road of oneness. It will not be walking on the road of oneness, because that which separates one from oneself is Ishvara, and that which unites one, reunites, so to speak, within quotes, as though reunites me to Ishvara, is the words of the Upanishads. The problem is not with Brahman. The problem is not with consciousness. The problem is, it's an Ishvara problem, it's an authority figure problem. It's the non-understanding of Ishvara that is the problem, and so therefore, in the beginning, innocent mantras, day-to-day mantras are introduced. Innocent means just simple, basic, not too long, because you will forget. Then you will be stressed. Instead of feeling stress-free after meditation, you will feel stressed because now you have to remember the mantra. Simple mantras. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Simple. Panchakshari, only 5 things to remember. 5 syllables, not even words, 5 syllables to remember. And you keep repeating this because the mantra is usually handed down from the teacher. The teacher gives mantra diksha. The gift of the mantra is given by the teacher, and the mantra is not something unfamiliar to the teacher. The teacher has repeated the mantra, and the mantra comes already potentized. Like when you buy a phone, it already comes recharged enough so that you can set it up. After that, what do you have to do? You have to charge it yourself. Similarly, the mantra comes potentized, and then after that, what do? You have to repeat it yourself, then it will continue to give the benefits. But first you ride on the coattails of the teacher's repetition, receive the mantra, chant the mantra, and because of the blessings of the whole parampara of all the siddhas, the gurus and elders who have chanted the mantra, you get the blessings very easily, even without working for it. Only 5 Om Namah Shivayas gave me a fantastically calm mind. This is why we don't use a meaningless sound, because all the pains and sorrows that I cannot get rid of, the baggage that I carry with regard to the local caregivers, with regard to the local mother and father, has to be put at the altar of the mother and the father of the universe. It is as simple as that. And there only, at that altar, it is transformed, because that altar of surrender has the power to alter you. And so the repetition of the mantra is cleaning the mind of, it's like the washcloth and the soap that is cleaning the mind of old disappointments, and the old disappointments that have calcified into anger, frustration, hopelessness, despair are being slowly dislodged. And this is how we grow into having a mind that is capable of gaining this knowledge, and then into having a mind that is capable of retaining this knowledge. More we'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we will see much more of this, and then we will have, as we did today, a few meditation sessions along the way. We will say the closing prayer, and I believe we can have 10 minutes for questions. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions? Yes.
Hi, Swaminiji. I had a question. So when we were saying the mantra, hello. Yeah. Sorry, nice to see you again. So my question is, when we're reciting the mantra, is it important to know the meaning of every sound? Or keep it in mind as we are
just keep it in mind generally. But generally, if you know the meaning of the mantra itself, like Om, a sound of Ishvara, and then Namaha, salutations, Shivaya, unto that which is the most auspicious one, that if you know generally, it's enough. Mantra still will work. But you have to connect to it. Yeah? Yes.
So, Swaminiji, you mentioned that to clear our mind of...
Mic is coming. To clear your mind.
To clear our mind and preparing it for meditation and chanting mantras, we have to let go sort of past baggage in a way that we carry. And our primary caregivers from whom we sort of got our samskars to begin with were our parents, right? Our Vyashti parents. But is it also, I mean, we have gotten our samskars through our life, through other people as well. Could be a sibling, could be a teacher.
Yes, of course. But we can't do that for everyone. Therefore, you go to the source. It's enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want
Because
that.
sibling will be secondary samskaras. We go to the primary samskara.
What about teachers?
Same thing.
Okay.
Who is the first teacher? Mother, father.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank
You don't have to do everything individually. That's the idea. It's a shortcut. Vedanta is full of shortcuts. Yeah.
The question I have is about the desire we're talking about. At
Desire,
the beginning of the class.
Yes.
So when a desire arises, so then you sometimes, not always, sometimes, most of the time you go along with the desire. Sometimes you are able to watch it and you feel like, okay, I can let go of this. But then the question comes, is that a tamoguna or is it a satoguna? Sometimes I feel
What, letting go is tamoguna?
No, like am I being lazy and not pursuing what's supposed to be done, or am I just being in the sattva and letting go sometimes?
That I don't know, but one thing I know is you are overthinking right now. that is what we end up doing when we know Vedanta. We just end up, things in life are much more simple. Okay. Oh my God, why am I not pursuing this desire? Doesn't matter why. You didn't pursue it. No harm has ever come to a person by not pursuing desire. Okay? Yeah. So let it go. Next day you pursued it. Okay. Let's see how it goes. No harm has come. So then, see, we feel, what is that? We feel, because Vedanta is analytical, we become overthinkers. Yeah, it happens to everybody. All right? Yeah. So, not to worry. Next time, you just say, okay, it got dropped off. No, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not spending the whole day in bed, you don't have to worry about tamoguna. All right? You're all right. Yeah. Yes.
I have two questions. Namaste, Swami.
Namaskar.
You distinguish between punya and moksha in the Adrushta Phalas. I just want to
Yes. Punya is good karma. Good karma cannot give moksha. And why? Because good karma can give you a conducive birth, but moksha is not karma phala. Moksha is purushartha, not prarabdha. Moksha is something you pursue with your free will. Punya can create the circumstances. Punya can bring the horse to the water, but the horse then has to drink. No. Yeah.
And the second question is again continuing on the mantra. What is the impact of Ashtotra and Sahasranama?
Oh yeah. That is all vachikam karma. Vachikam karma, verbalized this thing. There also, and in mantra also, we create what is called sajatiya vritti pravaha. A flow of thoughts that are of the same variety. Like supposing you can think, in common parlance, it would be like hat, coat, umbrella. They all go together. Outdoor things. Hat, coat, scarf, umbrella. They all are outer wear. So similarly here, Vishnu Sahasranama, 1,000 names of Vishnu, glorifying goddess Lalita. All these are what? Same thing. The object is the same. Ishvara, Ishvara, Ishvara. Since there is no separation between myself and Ishvara, the Ishvara that I see is the Ishvara I want to be and the Ishvara I already am. So there is an immersion in chanting the Sahasranama. If you just simply chant, it becomes Vachikam Karma. If you chant along with flowers, etc., it becomes Kayikam Karma. If you close your eyes and chant mentally, it becomes Manasam Karma. The mantra is even better because it's the same thought. Vishnu Sahasranama and all focuses the mind to similar thoughts of the same variety. Like samosa, kachori, murukku, all these things, okay, fried stuff. So then, therefore, that is like Sahasranama and Ashtotra. But mantra is more powerful for our purposes because it's the same thought. The mind is asked to think repeatedly so that it gets both purified and focused. I focus on the same thing. I tell the mind, think Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, that's easy, the mind says, Om Namah Shivaya. Next, Om Namah Shivaya. Next, Om Namah Shivaya, next, Om Namah Shivaya, next, Om Namah Shivaya. That is what I have to keep doing. And it will of course get distracted, otherwise it's not meditation. If the mind does not go away, it need not come back, it's not meditation. The mind will go away, it's supposed to go away. We cannot complain that the mind moves, it's supposed to move. If the mind were not to move, we would be in permanently vegetative state. The mind is supposed to move from one thought to another, from one frame to another. But I am trying to have a say over the ways of the mind. I am not trying to control the mind, I am trying to manage the mind. So this having a say over the ways of the mind is so that the mind does not is not dragged by the ragadveshas in the waking state, in the non-meditative state, and then I am not behind the mind and dragged by the ragadveshas. The mind is not in the driver's seat. I am in the driver's seat. The mind is a safely seat-belted passenger. A wonderful companion along the way. That is what I want my mind to be. Right now, what is it doing? It's not wearing seat belt and it is trying to take away the steering wheel from my hand. It's trying to make it go someplace where I don't want to go. I want to go on the road of dharma leading to moksha. It wants me to go every other way. It wants me to go to artha kama pursuits. So therefore, the mantra helps the mind not give it too much importance and helps it to keep it in place so that for every 40 minutes or 30 minutes that I meditate, my non-meditative state life is also meditative. That is the idea. Okay?
Hari
Yes.
Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
I was wondering, you mentioned the 3 types of prayer.
Yes.
For someone who's interested in moksha, is there any use for the physical or the ritual?
Yes, there is. Because we all have to begin with baby steps. So, some other satsang I told the 7 vadas story. So, this fellow goes and asks for something to eat and he is given 1 vada, eats it, asks for another, given another vada sambar, more. Finally, he polishes off 7 vadas and then he pays for only 1. Why do you do that? You had 7 vadas and a whole liter of sambar in front of me and you are paying only for the 7th one, the cashier says, and he says, all those vadas did not fulfill me. They did not fulfill the hunger. First vada I was still hungry, that's why I had the 2nd one. 2nd vada I was still hungry, therefore I had the 3rd one. 3rd vada I was very hungry, therefore I had the 4th one. And then finally after I had the 7th one, I was satisfied. So the 7th vada only filled my hunger. This is his thinking. Okay. But what is the truth? Every vada is helping for me to become bada, bigger and bigger. Yes, not literally of course, but figuratively. The mind to become bada, the senses to become to be expansive, to just be, to occupy everything. The heart should be big enough for the galaxies to enter. So, the physicalized seva, karma yoga, worship, the outer sadhanas, Antaranga sadhana is inner sadhanas, Bahiranga sadhana is outer sadhana. Between the outer and the inner there is a very strong connection. So the outer sadhanas in the form of puja, recitation, seva, karma yoga, all do not go waste. They come, they make you into a mumukshu. They help you to assimilate more and more. So we don't say, drop the worship. When you are ready, the worship itself will drop. It will drop you. You don't have to drop anything. You do whatever you are doing, but you do it with the intention for self-growth. It will bless.
Thank you. Just one quick question after that. You had mentioned that mantra diksha, and
Yes.
let's say one already has come across a mantra that they have resonated with. Is it still useful to go get mantra diksha
No need. Practice what you have. Good for you. Yeah, if you come across it, it speaks to you. Wonderful. And also, if you want to chant Om Namah Shivaya, no Diksha is needed. It's a universal, open mantra. Anybody can chant. Yes.
Namaste, Swaminiji.
Namaskar.
During meditation, let's say, if kind of the way we lead our lives on a daily basis over a period of time sometimes dictates how we are in our meditative state, because it can kind of block us from becoming calm, especially when
I couldn't hear the last part.
So, how we lead our life or the things that we see in our life over a period of time,
Yeah.
sometimes can lead to certain guilt or pain,
Hurt.
or
Yes.
unfulfilled desires or things like that.
Yeah, that also we drop in the same way.
So how does that processing happen in that? How do we
That also,
convince the mind?
that
to
also
let
you
go?
desire, because the truth of the guilt and the hurt all starts with the primary caregivers. So the guilt and the hurt is also dropped. You put it at the altar of surrender and say, I don't know what to do with this. Hey Bhagavan, you say mentally, whichever form of Bhagavan you worship, you say mentally, I cannot deal with this, I don't know how to do it, you please take it away. That's why this Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare is known as Taraka Mantra that helps cross over guilt, hurt, pain, sorrow. Because we say Hare, Hare means what? This is Hari, vocative case, Hare. And who is this Hari? And who is this Hara? Hara, Hari means the one who takes away. Imagine, you call Bhagavan by his, her function, the taker away. It's like that. You don't, that's why this Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, it doesn't even look like a mantra at first. There is no Om, there is no Namaha. How can it be a mantra? To illustrate this, a story is told. Imagine a train in India, an overnight train that is going towards some destination, and then it is about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all bleary-eyed travelers are slowly waking up. One being gets on the train with a kettle and some cups. What is he saying? He doesn't say coffee, he doesn't say tea, he simply says, ee. You are sleeping. You say, coffee? Coffee. One kettle, only one kettle. Takes out one, what is that? Some matka or some glass, coffee. And the fellow in the upper berth, tea, tea. Same kettle. Okay? What is going on? At that point, you don't care. Even if you are a tea drinker and you have coffee, you're happy something hot and sweet is there, touching the throat. That's all you want. That's all you want. So you don't have to tell if this. That's why you don't have to invoke this Bhagavan in the form of Hari and Hara. You don't have to invoke. You just, just like you say, E, come here, coffee, come here. His name is not coffee, his name is not tea, but you say, hey, coffee, come here. And he knows why he has been invited to your compartment, not to have a chat, not to share your food. Why has he come? To give you coffee. So similarly, you say, Hare, take away. What to take away? He knows. Don't worry. Hari, Hara, hey Hare, oh Hari, take away. This is the best thing for guilt, hurt, pain, sorrow, whatever comes up in the meditation, and there will be lots of bubbles of like this. Tomorrow we will spend the time discussing this further. Anything else? Yes, this side. Yeah. Yeah, this side, or you can give to Madhu, then this side. Yeah.
So it's not a question, it's more of a clarification. So when we did the meditation,
I thought he was going to talk about food. There was no.
So it's when we did the meditation, you said basically kind of let go the external But then when we let go everything, we become nothing.
No, that's not true. The one who says I am nothing is something. Are you sentient?
Yes. No.
Are you existent?
But my question,
Yes.
I mean, it's still false. So
Okay.
kind of you feel that.
You may feel. I can understand.
That you have lost your identity.
Yes.
So when that happens,
Yes.
there's a fear
Yes.
that kind of gets to you because now you're without identity.
Yes.
I know we have to at that point
Correct.
think we are Brahman,
Yes.
which is okay, but that's a big leap.
Very big leap. Yes.
And there is the fear that like you're falling into a chasm.
Fantastic question.
So it kind of, that feeling is what we
Gap.
need to
Yes.
fight out.
Yeah. So therefore, that's another word. I'm glad you asked this. Very fantastic question. I'm glad you asked this because the point, one more reason why we use the mantra is because we rebrand our identity not as a son, not as a daughter, not as a spouse, not as a sibling, but as a bhakta. I'm a devotee. And what am I? Connecting to the object of devotion, Ishvara. I remint myself as a bhakta. It's an interim identity until I discover that I am the object of the bhakti. I am non-separate from the object of bhakti. I remint myself as bhakta. So it doesn't mean that I stop being a son or a daughter. You are not letting go of the identity. You are letting go of the baggage connected to the identity. That is another clarification. I am a devotee son, means objective. I am a devotee daughter. I am a devotee sister. I am a devotee brother. I am a devotee employer. I am a devotee employee. So I am connecting to the identity through bhakti. The identity is not the problem. Any identity is not a problem. You can even say I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a teacher. Whatever you want you can say. The identity is not the problem. You know what is the problem? The problem is the pains and hurts of that role. The role is not the problem. That the role rolls on to me is the problem. Therefore, I have to do this letting go. Therefore, I have to remint myself as a devotee. Okay? Yes.
Namaskar, Swaminiji. You mentioned that Nididhyasana is one kind of meditation, and there are many kinds of meditations people talk about. Some say that focus on your breathing, some say that focus on the center of your forehead, etc. So, what is the main difference between other kinds of meditation and Nididhyasana, and
we have a lot of things in common. Meditation is all about an inward focus, no matter where. Whether if you have it in the Christian tradition, also it's an inward focus. Here also it's an inward focus. There's an inward focus, and then there is some connection to Ishvara in all of the traditions. So it is similar. And yes, some will say catch the nose, catch the toes, observe this, observe that, all these things. So I would say that in Vedanta, the meditation / contemplation is content heavy, not form heavy. We are focusing more on the content rather than on the form. That's what I would say. That's the main difference.
So, for Vedanta, we should focus more on Nididhyasana rather than other forms.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah, every form is helpful. But when you are able to, it all depends on where the person is. You have to be in a place that can allow this Nididhyasana to happen. Contemplation means what? I have to bring back the words of the Shastra and live that reality inside my head for a certain time, and then also as I walk, talk, etc. So first, the words of the Shastra should have blessed me. Without meditation, that cannot happen. And then second, the words of the Shastra, to be able to relive that, I should have a contemplative mind. Here we have a catch-22. Until you contemplate, you don't have a contemplative mind. Until you have a contemplative mind, you cannot contemplate. What to do now? This is a problem. So slowly we introduce. So that means we cannot let go or look down upon any form of meditation until we are ready to abide in this knowledge. Everything helps. Okay?
What is the best time to do it? In the morning or?
Morning, they say, because nobody else has woken up, but any time is good. Any time is good.
Thank you.
Morning generally, because you have to wake up before other people in the family. That's why. Okay? All right. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhaved, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.